Hi, this is John Richardson. It's July the 7th, 2019, and today I'm interviewing Audrey Wilson. Can you tell us a little bit about when you were born and where you were born?
Well, I was born in Fresno, Texas, and it was during the Depression time. My first memories are going to work when I could hardly tie my shoes. My dad he was working for the State Highway Department, and the crash of 29, I guess it was about a year after that, he lost his job because of all the things that had happened. So he went to farming, and share farming actually. And I had 4 brothers older than me.
Okay.
And we all worked. It was a cotton farm.
Okay.
Everybody but Mom, and Mom,
Right.
she did more work than any of us.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But I can remember going to work and my father telling me, he used to call me Dutch, and he'd say, "Hurry up, Dutch, get your shoes tied, it's getting daylight out." That was when we went to work.
That's when the sun came up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting daylight.
Right.
When the sun came up, we were already out.
Yeah.
Anyway, aside from that, that went on from time to time till I was about 11 years old, and finally we managed to get back into town. It was a full life, full of work. And anyway, then I was going into my teens, I should say. This is a little bit difficult to bring up memories for so long ago.
Right. Well.
But we went back into town, and of course, life was different.
Yeah.
I got to sleep at night. Didn't have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
That was big times for us. But
Yeah.
outside of that, I finally, in 1941, I guess it was 41.
Okay.
And my father had come to Fresno. My oldest brother had moved here, and he had a job, and he said my dad could get a job with him.
And at that time, 1941, you were about 14 or
15.
15 years old. Okay.
And so Dad came on. He was an honest man.
Yeah.
He'd never beg. When he was out of work, he would borrow.
Okay.
But we could not leave that town where we lived
In Texas.
until
Okay.
he had every dime he paid to
Oh, my
anybody.
goodness. Had to pay everybody
He
off.
came on ahead of us, my youngest brother, and
Okay.
my mother and me stayed there, and Dad sent money until all the bills were paid.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a minor thing.
Okay.
And then, of course, I was always raised that you got married, you had a family, but that wasn't really. I can't fault the man I married. He was a good man.
Okay.
But just certain things that in family life that just weren't for me.
And how old were you when you got married?
I was 16.
16. Okay.
However, I never turned him away.
Okay.
I was a good kid.
Okay.
I guess. Anyway, eventually, over a period of time, he was in the service.
Okay.
Spent time in the service, and then after World War II, my youngest son was born.
Okay.
Right at the end of World War II.
Okay.
The kid's dad was in the 10th Mountain Division, and he was in Italy at the time when Germany
Okay.
gave up.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, I was pregnant with my youngest son, and he got back a couple of weeks before he was born.
Oh, okay.
And went to work for up in the mountains. And about 4 years later, I guess it was, 3 years later, they had a strike. The workers went out on strike, so I came down to Fresno with my folks, and I got a job driving a cab.
Driving cab,
And,
okay.
and that was my first experience of driving a cab. I mean, because we had to eat.
Right.
And I didn't have that much of an education at that time to have.
If you don't mind my asking, how many years of schooling did you complete?
I had completed 10
Okay.
at that point.
Okay.
And anyway, at a later time, when I was supporting the family while he was out on strike,
Okay.
and that was where I actually met some of the gay people that I had never heard of it even up to that point.
And this was here in Fresno.
Yeah.
So you were talking about working at the taxi company, and you were talking about meeting gay people for the first time.
Yes, one of the dispatchers was a softball player for a famous team, and I got acquainted with her, and through other people that she knew, one or two of them that actually started working alongside me as cab drivers, and that was when I first actually really learned about gay and lesbian activity. Up to that point, I had thought that these strange feelings that I was having was, I was out of my head, and there was something wrong with me.
Or that you were alone, that no one else had these types of feelings.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was a world full of people like that. And
you were still married at that point.
I was still married, and of course I until I left my husband, that was it. I mean, I just learned. But we were married for 12 years.
12 years, okay. So, okay.
And anyway, at one point that I had separated from him about 2 years before.
Okay.
And I met this one beautiful woman who swept me off my feet, but I mean, that was just didn't last long.
Oh, okay.
And but I mean, I went a little bit wild for a while there.
Did you?
I knew, met people from Bakersfield, and there was a woman down there that she had a gay club.
Okay.
Her name was Bee, and she called her club Bee's Hive.
Bee's Hive, okay.
Like a beehive.
Okay, right.
And anyway, I met several people down there that, including a famous country and western guy's sister, who we called Toots and Tootie.
Tootie, okay.
And I won't go into her name further than that.
Okay.
And but we used to go down there on Saturday night, be 3 or 4 of us, and have a
good time.
Good time. And
come here, Cha-Cha. All right, so you go down to Bakersfield and have a good time.
And had a good time, but then it was a period of, I don't know, 5 or 6 years that I kind of got control of my crazy ideas, and then in 1960 I was having very bad hemorrhaging.
Okay.
And I had to have a hysterectomy.
Okay.
So I went to the hospital, and the first day I was in the hospital, at that time, they prepped you in the hospital.
Okay.
Now, I mean, you have to get ready and just go in and lay down
Right.
and operate. But anyway, I went into the hospital, and I had been there just probably a couple of hours, maybe less. And this nurse came in, and I asked her, I think, something about the television, and she said, "I'm sorry, I don't know too much English."
Okay.
And I said, "Habla español?" And ay, ay, ay. So
And so you started
that
speaking
was
Spanish with
that was Yoli. That was Yolanda.
Okay.
She was from Chile,
From Chile. Okay.
and but she
Now, this was a hospital here in Fresno? Which hospital?
that was a community hospital.
Oh, community hospital. Okay.
And she was working there. She was a registered nurse, but she couldn't work as a registered nurse here.
Oh, because she didn't have the license, proper
Because
license.
she didn't have the
Right.
license here. And at that point, anyway, she started taking care of me, and then I had some problems come up
Right.
while I was in the hospital there, and had a prolonged visit, fortunately for me,
Yeah.
because and basically I wound up taking her home with me.
Wonderful.
At that time, I mean, you just people, you weren't allowed to be a gay person,
Right.
lesbian. I mean, they'd throw you in jail.
Exactly.
And but 2 days before I was coming home, she came by when she worked the PM shift, and she'd come by, and she came by and she said, took a big chance. She said, "I don't know what is wrong with me. I cannot stay away from you."
Oh my goodness.
And of course, I just floated right up out of that bed. And I actually did take her home with me.
Oh, wonderful.
I told her I needed somebody for a couple of days. She had some days off coming up.
Yeah.
And she wanted to come out and help me for a couple of days.
Okay.
So she went from the hospital with me.
Okay.
And she was with me for 47 years.
47.
5 months and 3 days.
47 years, 5 months, and 3 days. Wow.
Yes. She died
No.
April the 30th, 2008.
April 30th, 2008 is when she passed away.
But
Okay.
she nailed my foot to the floor.
She nailed your foot to the floor?
That's
She made an honest woman out of you.
That's about the best way you can tell about it. But she was a wonderful woman. When she studied and so forth in 3 years.
She was able to finally get licensed.
3 years after that, she finally
got licensed
her,
to be a nurse.
RN license here.
Yeah.
She was a head nurse for 14 years before she came here
I'll be darned.
at Roberto Del Rio Hospital in Santiago, Chile.
In Santiago, Chile. Did you ever have a chance to travel with her to Chile?
No. She only went back once.
Okay.
She went back in, I guess it was 1972, for a month, and her mother died while she was there,
okay.
so she didn't go back anymore.
I see.
And we traveled around the United States a little bit. I mean, here and there.
Okay.
1992, I bought that little motorhome that I've got out there, which is it's a good old motorhome. We took a trip to Texas and to Oregon and different places in that, and a lot of local travel in it. I mean, and but she didn't drive.
Oh, okay.
So
you were the one that was the driver.
when
When she was working as a nurse, did you continue as a taxi driver?
Oh no.
No, you quit that.
No, I quit that before I met her.
Oh.
Okay. When I separated from the kid's dad, then I brought my children to Fresno, and my folks lived here.
Okay.
And I started school. I went to school
Okay.
for 7 years. I went to school.
Oh, okay.
3 nights a week. I worked 6 days a week.
Okay.
Went to school 3 nights a week. Took care of my kids.
And you ended up getting a degree in.
And I finally wound up selling real estate.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, you sold real estate. Okay, wonderful.
But I did I don't know, 2 or 3 years now and then in City College. I never tried to.
Okay.
'Cause I had a full calendar, especially after 1960.
Yeah. So you're working as a realtor, and
Well,
you had
I'm
this.
not a realtor.
Oh, okay.
A realtor is it's not just an agent.
Okay.
Anyway, that's.
But you worked in that field.
I worked in that field for 30
Okay,
years.
30 years. I'll be darned.
And don't really know much of what else I can tell you.
Well, did you and Yoli ever go to clubs in Fresno, or was that something that interested you?
There was friends.
Friends.
There was that was another part of my life that was before Yoli, actually.
Oh, before Yoli. Okay.
That I went to more clubs. We didn't go out much to clubs.
Okay.
We kind of played it cool, stayed at home.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Before that, in mid-50s, I guess it was, about 55, I think, I went to San Francisco and Oakland, clubs up there.
And you talked about
know,
Bakersfield,
you know,
going to Bakersfield.
Yeah, well, Bakersfield, I mean, that was less, but there was clubs in San Francisco.
Okay.
You know Johnny Mathis.
Right.
And at one point, I didn't realize it at the time, but at one point, well, he serenaded me and the person I was with. And 440 Club in San Francisco.
Well, Johnny Mathis.
But I didn't know it until, I don't know how many, it's been, I say 2 or 3 years, it's probably 4 or 5 years now. I was watching music on the television, music stuff,
Right.
and they showing Johnny Mathis, and they said, and he got his career started at Ann's 440 in San Francisco. That was him.
That was him.
I couldn't believe it.
You and the lady that you were with were being serenaded by him.
Yeah, I mean, he sang, what did he sing?
Chances are.
Trying to remember the name of the song.
Yeah.
He sang 2 songs. One of them was Tenderly and the other one
Tenderly, oh yeah.
I can't remember what the other one was right now. But anyway, that was an interesting...
And you said the club that you went to in Fresno, not so much with Yoli, was France.
Well, yeah, and we went to clubs once in a while, and we used to go down here to the Circle and dance.
Oh, did you really? Oh, you did the one that closed down, the one there on Maroa.
Yeah, right down here on Maroa.
Yeah, right there at the railroad track.
Yeah, we used to go there and dance.
Oh, I'll be darned.
And see, in local clubs there was Gus and Doris's, which was more of the boys' club. I mean, we didn't go there very much.
Okay.
I went there once or twice, but I mean, really, I knew most of the guys that.
So the clubs basically were their clubs where there would be more, special that the lesbians would go to, and clubs that the gay men would go to, or did they intermix? Or
well, yeah, that intermixed, but I mean, some of them catered more to the men, and some of them catered more to the the women, and some of them Fran, and what was her girl's name? Gail. I think it was Gail. I mean, they had both. They had a beautiful club for a long time down on the old 99, and right there near where the near the hacienda.
Okay.
I can't remember. It was a good, nice place.
Nice club.
But I don't know. I don't know how they managed to stay open.
Okay.
Probably got in somebody's pocket, I guess.
Now you told me that in 1975, the Unitarian Church, something happened.
Yeah. Well, you didn't profess anything in the public,
Right.
but we happened to be in a bakery with other people all around, and
Right.
suddenly Yoli turned to me and she said, "I want to get married in a church."
Yeah.
It was a problem. I didn't know how. I called people that I knew in. San Jose and in San Francisco and different ones. And
Right.
finally, somebody directed me to the
The Unitarian.
Unitarian Church here in Fresno.
Right.
And I went and I talked with Gregory Dinker, who was the
pastor.
minister at the time. And he said, yeah, he would do it.
Yeah.
So we only had 3 other people with us when
Okay.
we had friends called Charlotte and Dottie, who they used to live back over here, just 3 blocks
Yeah.
from here. And a Greek friend,
Okay.
Dalia Mendolero, Italian woman.
Well, that's nice that you're able
And I still have some pictures, and I had for a long time. I had
pictures that were taken that day.
I have a couple of photographs, but
Yeah.
I had a copy of the ceremony
okay.
that
Oh, okay.
Gregory had written.
printed out.
It was beautiful,
Yeah.
but because of all the problems with it, I finally destroyed it. I wish I hadn't,
You destroyed it because
because of my family didn't know anything.
okay. You didn't want your family. Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
tried to-
That was
but,
I accidentally
so
touched your dog there. But
Anyway.
you were concerned that your family would find it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I still, although I had Yoli living with me, I still had to live
Right.
a double life.
Yeah.
I mean, you just couldn't say things in public.
Right.
And
Was there a time where you were leading a double life? Was there a time where you were able to talk to your family members, like your son, about?
even my son George,
Right.
Until the last 4 or 5 years, I never talked.
You never talked to him until about 4 or 5 years ago.
And he's the only one in my family.
He's the only one in your
other
family.
than my mother. I mean, many years ago, I told my mother.
You told your mom, but you never talked to your father about it.
Oh no, he'd kill me.
So, and the relationship that you have with George sounds like you told him about 5 years ago, and it's
Yeah, I mean, we don't really discuss it.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's just an accepted fact.
it's just an accepted fact of life, and
And
it's not.
outside of that, I'm trying to think of any other clubs and so forth. Oh yeah, there was downtown on Broadway. I think it was in the block just west of Mariposa, probably the 1000 block. There was a big sign out here on the thing, Gay Wecoma.
Gay what?
Gay Wecoma.
Gay Nicoma.
Wecoma. Gay Wecoma. Big sign hanging out
Gay
in front.
Wecoma. That was on downtown. You said
It was on Broadway.
on Broadway.
Between Tulare and Mariposa, I think it was.
Mm.
And there used to be a Santa Fe bus station, I think, on Mariposa there, between Fulton and Broadway.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm losing my train of thought for a moment.
We were just talking about other clubs. Now, when
But
you were
that was not designated to be a gay club.
wasn't
But people
designated
from
to
San
be.
Francisco come through town. Then the highway came right through town.
okay,
And San Francisco would come through, and they'd see that sign. And Los Angeles come through, they'd see that sign. And
Right.
everybody thought it was a gay club. That's what it
Gay
turned out.
club.
It eventually turned out to
It
be
turned
a
out
gay
to be
club.
a gay club.
I remember this one guy. He was a tall guy. We used to go there sometimes, and he was kind of a comedian. he'd step in the front door and, "What's your front name, honey?" It was fun, just fun.
Now, in terms of displays of affection between you and Yoli, you mentioned before that you would dance with her in certain clubs, and
Oh yeah.
how did you feel about holding hands with her in public? Is that something that you would only do in a club?
I don't think we ever really held hands. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Okay.
We hugged a lot.
You hugged a lot. Okay.
Oh, she was something.
Yeah. I wish I had known her.
Yeah.
So she sounds like she was a special person.
She was very
She was
special.
the love of your life.
Yeah.
And how did your kids get along with her? Did they?
Fine.
They loved.
My son George, you know.
George, I know George. Yeah.
You met him. He's not supposed to be in there. And but anyway, he was 15 years old at the time when I met.
When you met
She
her.
came to the house,
Okay.
and he fell madly in love.
Oh, he fell in love with her.
I have to tell you about this. I mean, he was.
He was 15 and he met Yoli for the first time.
Well, and she'd come to the house. I mean, before she moved in, she'd come to the house and visit, and he couldn't do enough for her. This, and this. And finally, I told him, I said, "Son, you're treating her like a girlfriend." I said, she could be your aunt or something, but I said, she's too old. Oh, Mom, I don't think age makes too much difference. But she did look very young. She looked young? She was 39 years old, and she looked like she was 19.
And the age difference between you and Yoli, she was 39 and you
she
were...
was 5. I think
5
she
years
was
younger?
5 years older than me.
Oh, she was 5 years older than you. Oh.
And anyway, what I said, she's too old for you. And he said, "Oh, I don't think age makes too much difference." And I said, "Son, she's older than I am." He said, "Oh, okay. Anything between 14 and 40 is okay with me, Mom." That was the exact words that he used. Anywhere between 14 and 40. And at that time, I wasn't selling real estate then. At that time, I was working on a PM shift in a factory.
Oh, okay.
And she had to set him down a couple of times and say, "Look here, little man."
I'm sorry, you had to sit him down or Yoli had to sit him down? Who?
Oh, you only had to.
Because
I was working.
Oh,
a
okay.
PM
Yoli
shift,
had to sit him down and tell him, "Young
and
man,
he should be
this
home
is
with
not appropriate."
the
Okay.
kids.
Yeah.
And she had, look, she said, let him realize that it did make a difference.
It did. The age difference was significant.
And and here about, I don't know, a year ago, I guess, I ran across we were looking at some pictures, and there was a picture of him and Yoli at that time, and he was holding her in his arms, holding her.
Oh, he's holding her up in his arms.
She was lying across his arms.
Oh, she's lying.
He said,
okay.
He said, "Mom, who's that girl?" I said, "That's Yoli." "That's Yoli?"
How old was George at the time?
He was 15.
15. Okay. He's a strong kid.
Anyway, that's the.
Yeah. No, that's a sweet story.
It is a sweet story.
Yeah.
But I mean, both the boys, I mean, they just loved her. I mean, they never questioned anything. And,
Yeah. What's your other son's name?
Bill.
Bill. George and Bill. Okay.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
a good son too. I lost him.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I'll tell you later
Okay.
about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. How do you feel now with the LGBT community and what's going on? And
I think that it's a good thing that more people are beginning to understand.
right.
Nobody understands anything if they don't look into it and try to understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they just say, "Oh, that's different,"
Exactly.
it's not. But that's one of the things about my church. I mean, I think there's a problem there right now with some of the Wesley churches.
Oh, okay.
That is the Methodist churches from.
Oh, okay. I think you're talking
They're
about
trying-
the Methodist Church as a whole.
Yeah, there
might be
as a whole, yeah.
Yeah, there are certain
there's-
factions of the
Yeah,
church
they're
that
trying.
are not so
They're
accepting.
trying to clamp down on the LGBT
Right.
people, but I don't think it's going to work. I mean,
Well,
but
yeah.
it came from headquarters.
Headquarters. So there might be eventually a schism where there might be a break. Do you think? Possibly?
I think in another year or two it'll probably be back like it was before.
Okay.
It's a good church,
Yeah, it is.
and everybody is welcome.
It is.
And black, white, gay, lesbian, heterosexual.
Exactly.
Everybody is welcome.
Yeah.
And as the minister says, it's not the white people, it's not the black people, it's not
Right.
it's not anybody else. It's God's church,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it is.
It is God's church. Yeah. Yeah. What do you see yourself doing? And I don't know. What are your future plans? Are there places you'd like to go, or things you'd like to do? Things in your life that you haven't done?
I was born in 1926.
1926.
There's a whole lot of things that I would like to do that I'll probably never see.
The things on your bucket list that.
The main thing that I keep doing is just I keep trying to get out of bed every morning,
There you go.
and if I can do that,
Yeah.
it's going to be a good day. And if I can't, I've got a problem.
And I think you have a good support group. What do you think of Gray Alliance, our group for LGBT seniors?
I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Shirley has a rough time trying to keep it together. I mean,
Yeah.
I keep telling her she volunteers too much. She needs
Yeah.
to get somebody else because she's not a well woman.
Yeah,
a
she
lot of
has
people
some-
don't. A lot
she
of
does
people
have some
don't
health
realize
problems,
that.
yeah.
I mean, she's got a lot of physical problems, as well as the last 6-7 years, she's lost a
family
big
members,
number of family,
Yeah, she has. Yeah,
and she doesn't get over one until somebody else is gone.
yeah. She's had a tough stretch
She's
this
a good
last year.
she's a good person.
She's a very
good woman.
a good loving person. Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about today?
Well, I don't know of anything else.
Okay, we can let's get together again. And,
You want me to tell them that John broke my refrigerator?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
I got some ice out
I
of
think
Audrey's refrigerator. and
You might want to wipe that off.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, we're going to end this conversation right now, but we may come back and talk some more. Thank you, Audrey, very much.
Well, it's most happy to do it.
Okay.